Hello everyone, today we are going to look at how to create a scene like this in Blender. So we are going to learn how to create a realistic looking tree, and then we'll create an environment, add the hdri light and finish the scene. Okay, so let's see how this is done in Blender. So in Blender I will delete the light. I don't need this light, and I will go to edit, preferences, and we're going to add two add-ons. One is the node wrangler add-on and the other one is images as planes add-on. Okay, so turn these two on because we will be using that later on in the project. So I will select the box now and hit the tab to go to edit mode, and I'll go to mesh, merge at center, so we just have one vertex. Okay, to model the tree we are going to use a skin modifier, and then I'll go to the 3 key on the keyboard to go to the right orthographic view, or you can click here to go to the right orthographic view as well. And then you can click on the X-ray mode to see the vertex, and if you hit the E key you can extrude the vertex. Okay, and then if you select it and Control A will scale. Okay, so these are the basic tools we are going to use to model the tree. So this is the tree trunk, and every time you want a branch you need to add a vertex. Okay, so I will prune the tree from here, and then it can go, so you can go crazy with this. So maybe a branch is coming down, maybe another branch is forming from the middle. Okay, and then try to add more branches. On top. Okay, and then you can go crazy with this. But what you can also do is look for reference. So if you search for tree reference, okay, I use this as a reference. Okay, so we are going to use that add-on that we created, add image as plane. Okay, and then I'll open that image where I saved it, which is this one. Okay, and you can scale the image big, then you can scale the tree down, then try to align the tree to what you got. Okay, and then now you can go to tab, edit mode, and then try to get a tree which more resembles like the reference if you want. Okay, this is not necessary, but for example let us try to align this one here. This branch is here, then this branch is here, and then it branches out here, it goes here, and then you can extrude it out, and then this is okay. So this way you can use a reference and then create a tree which is more realistic if you want. Alright, so once that is done, now our tree is flat, two-dimensional. So what we need to do is we need to move these branches in 3 dimensions. So again I'll go to the edit mode and I'll turn the proportional editing on, and you can select the ends of these, and you can see that there is a circle which can be made big or small, and then you can see that when you move it, all of these move. So if you go to the settings and turn the connected only on, then if you select these, then only the ones that are connected will move. Okay, so now I'll move this one in the front. Okay, and then when I move, I can even increase the influence. And really quickly, you are able to create a three-dimensional tree. Okay, so you can go crazy with this, but I'm not going to spend too much time. What I can do is I can also go and make the whole thing big. Okay, so this looks good for me, so I'm done with. You can spend more time modeling. Now the next thing is to add a subdivision modifier. All right, and then when you add subdivision, sometimes you will see that the tree geometry is not looking good, so you can go to edit mode and then select these and then move them around to fix that problem. Okay, so once you add a mesh smooth modifier, you should look around, and then whenever you get this problem, you can move around the vertices to try to solve that problem. Okay, and then it is better to turn the proportionate editing off when you're trying to do this. Okay, so it's a matter of some clicks to fix things. Okay, once you're happy with your tree, you can apply your skin modifier. We have to get out of the edit mode and then apply. Okay, and then edit mode, and I will delete the bottom face so I don't have this rounded bottom. Alright, so now the next step is to create a branch. So we will look for a branch texture. Okay, and I like this branch texture. Let us try this one. We'll click on free download. Free download. Download. These websites are crazy. Anyhow, I will use the one that I've already downloaded, so not to waste time. So I'll go to again add image, image plane, and this one, which is transparent. Okay, again go to the 3 key on the keyboard, and then we will add some geometry so that I have to go to edit mode, add a subdivision, click here, add subdivision, then go to cut tool and cut around the image so you get a more organic look to your image. Yeah, I'm doing things really fast, but you can be more precise. Okay, and then get rid of all the unwanted faces where there is no image. Okay, you cannot select and move things around. For example, you cannot select this and move around. You can see how the image is messed up, so you'll have to create these. Okay, this I can go to mesh merge to center, this one mesh merge to center. Anything that is close I can just merge them. Okay, so this looks good. Now what I'm going to do is again turn the proportionate editing on and then try to create this 3D. Okay, so select this, move in the front, select this, move in the back, select this, move in the front. So basically try to create some three-dimensional look to this branch. Okay, so it is not flat. So add some dimension to it. I don't want to spend too much time again on that. So that looks good. Other important, very important thing to do is in the edit mode, make sure that the origin, the yellow dot is at the base. Okay, because that is where will be, from here, it will be placed all around the object. Okay, so that is very important. Now we need to create a vertex group. Go to this option and add a vertex group, and then we are going to go to weight paints. The weight is 1, strength is 1, whatever the radius is, and the branches will be more on the top, so all the top of these branches we will paint them red. Okay, so we need more branches on top of the, and then we have to go to the other side and then paint on the other side as well. Okay, so paint all these top ones red so they will get more branches. The blue will be no branches and green will be less branches. Okay, so spend some time. Again, I'm not going to spend too much time doing this. I'll just reduce the weight so you can get this green color. Okay, so this will have lesser branches in the green color area, and in the middle I will not have any branches whatsoever. So I have to do this on the other side also. Okay, so this looks good. Something's got red. You never want anything on top to be red. We want more red on top. Alright, so this looks good. I don't want to take forever. Object mode. So now we have painted our weight. Now we will add particle system to our tree. So we'll go to modify panel, add particle system. Okay, and then we have to go to particle system and use hair. Okay, we will reduce the number of hair, and under renderer we are going to use object, and this object I forgot to rename, so I'll call it branch. This object will be called tree. We did quite some work, so let us save our file. I will say tree tutorial. And then we selected the tree. We are in the particles, render, object, and here we will select the branch. Okay, and then you can see that the branches are growing from that up. All right, that is what we want. But we don't want the branches all around the tree. We only want them where we selected the vertex group. So let's go to vertex group, density, and then select the branches. So only the places more on the red areas, less in the green, and no on the blue area. Alright, so that is done. Now we need to change the scale, so you can make the branches big or small, and then you can also change the scale, so some are big, some are small. Alright, now there is an advanced option, so turn on the rotation, and then you can also randomize the rotation, but the rotation is set to something else, so we'll set it to normals. Okay, and then you can randomize the normal, and then you can randomize the rotation also. So that's about it. Our tree is done. Now we will just work on creating the rendering, how we did the HDRI lighting and the environment. We also have to add texture to the bark. So we will go to the internet, look for bark texture, and select any bark texture that you like and save it. Select the tree, go to materials, rename this bark, base color, image texture, and select the bark image that I have used. And then if you go here, you don't see the bark texture, so you go to UV editing, and then you go to X-ray mode, select the entire tree which is selected, go to UVs, and then smart UV projection, say OK. Okay, so this is the bark and this is the tree. We'll simply scale this up, really up. Okay, and then your tree has a when I scale this bottom. Okay, tab. Where's my tree? Okay, so just the tree was not scaled properly, so I fix that. We can go global to local. That's fine. Let's not spend too much time on the scale. Alright, so our branch is done, our tree is done. Now we'll create a plane. Add mesh plane. Proportional editing is off so that you can scale this plane up. Tab to edit mode. Edge, select the edge. Extrude it up. Z to constrain it to Z axis and click. Select the edge, bevel the edge, add some bevel edges, tab, object, smooth shade, move it back, scale it wide, tab, edge, extrude it, X to constrain it to X, tab, G to move, X to constrain it, click. Alright, so view, viewpoint, camera, N, view, lock the camera. So zoom out, pan out and position the tree in the view. The plane needs to be placed in the right place, scale it wide. Alright. So this is how it's going to look. We don't want to lose the camera view. We need to go to render settings. We'll render it at 720 by 405 for test renders. Go to environment and we are going to use environment texture, open, and I'm going to use an hdri image. So you can go to hdri heaven, HDRIs, outdoor. There are two types. You can see that there's a soft shadow and there's a sharp shadow. So I'm using the image which has sharp shadow. It can be any image because the image is not going to be visible. Alright. So once the image is added, you're going to get a shadow. We're going to change this to cycles. You can see there is a shadow. We'll go to the environment and reduce the strength to 0.5. So the things are better. We go to particles and I need the size of the particles to be bigger. They're quite small. Okay. So you can do that. Now I want the shadow to be longer. So we'll go to shading, go to world. And again, because we downloaded that add-on of nodes, node wrangler, I can simply hit Ctrl T on this and it will add the UV mapping. So now I can rotate the environment around, so I can rotate it in 30 degrees. Okay, so that will change the shadow direction, and I'll change this minus 20 degrees so I can get a longer shadow. Okay, so you can change the shadow and then make the shadow longer. Okay, so that looks good. We are done with that. We are done with the branch. Now we will select this object, the ground. We'll add a new material, call it environment, and we will go to object. This is what it is. Again, we'll hit Ctrl T, but we are not going to use an image. We'll add a color lamp. Okay, so we'll connect this here, base color, I'll connect this here. The black color is going to be sky, and the white color is going to be our ground. So it is can be some greenish color, and then it can be mixed, and you can see that the things are not mixing correctly. Okay, so we will add another node, add type XYZ, so separate XYZ in the middle here, and that will fix our problem. Now we want the horizon line to be in the back, so you can click this and move things around. Okay, so the horizon line goes back. You can play with these numbers. View, viewpoint, camera. So everything is fixed now. We go to our bark tree. One thing I forgot to show you was we can add a bump map. So go to add and search for bump, and then we will connect the bump to the normal, and then we can add the color to the height. So this will create a bump map, so you don't need a normal map to create texture. We'll do the same thing to our branch. So we can add bump, place the bump, connect it to the normal. This takes a little bit of zooming in. So the color goes on to the height. Okay, so we have bump to the leaves and to this. And then we have a nice gradient for the environment. And one more thing what you can do to the branch is you can add some translucency. So you can go to add, search for add shader. So you can add the shader, and then you can add translucent shader. The translucent shader will be added to the add one, and the color will go to color. Okay, and what this one will do is make light pass through the leaves. Okay, so render image. Okay, so this is in slot 1. So you can see how the leaves look with the translucent shader, and in slot 2 we will remove the translucent shader and see how the trees look. So here the tree will look like it is, the trees are translucent, so the light is passing through. If I go to slot 2, we will control and remove this connection and render, view render, render image. This is without the translucent shader. Okay, so you can make the leaves denser and then try the translucent shader, or you can have lesser trees and not have a translucent shader. So we'll compare these two, how they look. Okay, so slot 1 is the translucent shader and slot 2 is no translucency. Okay, so what you can do is you can connect this again to connect the right nodes, and then the tree can have say 600 So it has more leaves and then they're translucent, so you can combine these two. So, and that's about it. Then I'm done. We will just make a final render at 1280 by 720. And then we will go to cycles. Render is 128. Add a denoiser. Render image. And we get the final image. Okay, so we have a nice background created very quickly. Added a HDRI light for lighting. Modeled the tree. We learned how to use prune branches using the particles. We looked at how the skin modifier is used to create the tree. And we looked at how to create a color ramp to quickly create a environment. And you get a more or less realistic tree. Thank you very much for following this tutorial. I hope you learned and enjoyed creating this tree. It will be great to see your results, and also please subscribe to my channel and like my videos and look at other tutorials to learn different things in Maya, Max and Blender, even After Effects and many other softwares. Thank you very much. Bye bye.